Good afternoon, everyone. I want unique experience. There are so many voices like this. I often heard from many tourists. In addition, I don't want to just visit tourist spots. I cannot find authentic cultural programs. There are few little English information except for Tokyo and Kyoto. To solve these problems, we will provide 2 to 4 days apprenticeship programs in rural areas. Through the process, tourists can touch the spirit of masters, which gives them a unique and authentic experience. Let me show you our sample programs. The theme is tea. Tourists can experience all about tea, from making tea balls, picking tea leaves, and having tea ceremonies with masters.
Okay, let's talk about some sexy numbers. 71 billion yen is the size of our target market, which represents 150,000 customers. We are going to target people from English-speaking countries who are interested in traditional Japanese cultures. And it is going to reach 169 billion yen by 2020, which represents 360,000 customers. How does business will work? First, we as Japan will communicate with masters and develop our own product together. We also educate our own translators. Also, we can offer e-commerce so that the masters will have incentive to join us. Because nowadays, masters are facing severe situation and they are looking for new business opportunities. In terms of, we are going to sell our product through collaborators such as travel agencies and hotel chains. They are going to sell our programs as a part of their package tour. Or we can sell our programs directly to the customers through our website. And finally, they come to Japan and enjoy apprenticeship. Why our service is the best? We have 3 attributes. First, we can offer programs in rural areas which other competitors are not offering. Second, we can offer real interaction with masters. And finally, it's value for money. As a marketing, we will test our prototype with MBA students as a Japan trip in April, and we can revise it based on their feedbacks. And as initial sales, we can use B2B channels as I mentioned before. And through these 2 steps, we will accumulate good reputation on TripAdvisor and establish a good brand.
In terms of projection, we plan to have 100 customers in the first year. This will increase to 4,000 customers by 2019, a year before the Olympics. This represents a revenue of 730 million yen, and our main costs will be 70% of the price paid to the suppliers, the masters and craftspeople, followed by human resources cost. This will give us an EBIT margin of 18%. We need funding of 25 million yen, or 170,000 euros, to cover the initial costs such as website marketing, as well as staff and guide costs. In terms of implementation, we are currently speaking with the masters so that we can set up our company, launch our website, and start offering a program in April. And we plan to break even within a year and a bit. In terms of our team, We have Miki, who has 2 years background in tourism. Cheita, who has a tech background, has already run an experience providing company successfully for 2 years. And myself, Hisashi, with family business and finance background. And most importantly, we are all very enthusiastic developers. Thank you, that's our presentation.
Hi, thanks guys, good job. Hi Nikki, good to see you here in your hometown. Folks, can you just give me more detail on the business model in terms of what you're going to sell a package to the consumer for, and do you take a commission from the travel agent, or how that works?
So in terms of competitive advantages, we have two things, which is
Business model. So I'm asking what the cost is. What is the cost of a package? And how are you guys making money? Are you taking a commission from the travel agent?
Our main cost will be to the price paid to the suppliers. We are able to make margins on them because we have a number of people, so there's economies of scale, and also we will as time passes by, we can start making revenue from e-commerce as well, as you can see here. And also, this sell through travel agent is just in the beginning to build our reputation. So actually, in the beginning, we will pay some commission to the travel agents, but we're actually to sell.
What will the 2-day tea mastery trip for a business school student cost?
So that would cost around $1,000. Yes.
Thanks for that great presentation. I'm Emre from Globus Capital Partners. My question is around scalability. How do you plan to find the real masters and also the translators who's going to be on the site to translate for the duration of the activities?
Yes, it's a good question because you may think it's not scalable easily, and maybe you think, why do we have to develop our product by ourselves? But as I mentioned before, but as you may know, there are many startups that enter in this market, and there are a bunch of players offering similar products, especially in Tokyo and Kyoto and their activities. So in the long run, it will be very important to develop our product. And once we can have 3 to 4 successful prototypes, I think it's much easier to scale and convince masters to join our platform, because they are also seeking for new opportunity to be more worldwide appearance and seeking for new revenue stream. And we can help them, and it's going to be a kind of win-win situation for them.
Sorry, follow-up question. Do you plan to find those places on your own, or are you willing to collaborate with like tour agencies or activity websites?
And we are developing those products by ourselves, and we already contacted at least 5-6 masters. And for example, 2 are very interested in our business, like Takasaki or Lisen, and Takaoka will be also another good place to start.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Olga from Kujima Fund. Our fund is pretty interested in inbound tourism business. I like it. And please explain about the competitive situation with a lot of competitors.
Yes, I think we don't have any direct competitors because no one is offering programs in rural areas. And some are doing it, but they just visit some famous place like Niseko or Hiroshima. So what we are going to offer is real rural areas, like as I mentioned, Takaoka in Toyama, for example, and there are few tourists there. And in terms of the contents of the programs, Walk Japan is one of the interesting company because they are providing just walking tour in Naka Center, and it costs more than 40,000 yen per day. So there should be some customers who are interested in this kind of niche product.
Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Tyler from Pointy. We are trying to solve a simple problem. It's that online merchants have a set of very nice tools that are generally not available to offline merchants. For example, if I'm an online merchant, I know that if I spend $100 on advertising and I pay 10 cents per click, 1,000 people are going to come visit my website. I can monitor the performance of my ad campaign in real time. I can tweak the wording and improve the performance in real time. I can also combine this with information from my website and say, for example, if I have two campaigns, A and B, and I notice that customers from A are spending 5 times as much, I might choose to spend all of my ad dollars on Group A. By contrast, offline merchants, they generally have to guess at how many people are seeing their ads. They don't have any equivalent traditionally for the pay-per-click system, so they don't know how many people are going to come spending X amount of dollars on advertising. And they have no real way to connect the performance of their ad campaign with actual visitors to the store. So a solution for this was proposed by Shopkick in 2009. It's been quite successful. For those who don't know, you install an app, a customer walks into a participating store, and they click check-in, and they get points, which are redeemable for gift certificates. And essentially, customers are getting paid just to walk into the store. This is in contrast to coupons. They don't have to spend any money. From the retailer's point of view, they're paying directly for what they want. They want people to come to the store, so they pay, say, 50 cents per person. So this is basically the equivalent of pay-per-click from the online world. Because it's digital, they can also have many of the similar tools, like monitoring real-time performance and connecting it to point systems, etc. This has been pretty widely imitated, I think, first here in Japan by Smappo, which was acquired by Rakuten, and then the past 2 years by two companies, one by Docomo and one by Recruit. They all are based on the same technology, which is installing an ultrasonic transmitter in each store, which means that it takes time to ship the transmitters and install them. It costs money, so they can't just let anybody and everybody try the system out. Our solution uses the camera on a smartphone to verify that someone is inside the store. Because we have no hardware costs, we can let anyone who wants to try it just try it. We have no time delays through shipping or installation. A belated introduction, I'm an engineer, Tyler. My specialty is in computer graphics, computer vision. I've been in R&D for about 10 years, mostly at Sony, probably at the same time as the keynote speaker. My partner, Wakasugi-san, has been in ad tech for quite a while. Most recently, he's been helping Japan's first deep linking startup develop their technology. So our technology takes images from a camera and compares it to map data that's created ahead of time. We've been developing this for about a year. We think that this technology itself has a lot of value, judging by a few high-value exits already in this space, purely based on technology. We can do indoors, outdoors, underground. We can get up to 1 centimeter precision, which is about 1,000 times better than GPS. We want to use this technology first, though, to solve a real problem. So no hardware is our advantage. A retailer can get going in 10 minutes with this system. By contrast, Docomo is the only one offering public signups, and they estimate 3 weeks for a retailer to get started. So, in a sense, we'd be democratizing walk-in point system and making it available to small and large retailers. Monetization is basically the same as all of the others, flat fee per walk-in. You can get to reclaim unused points. We'd also like to charge retailers to contact their customers. For example, send coupons to customers who haven't visited in the past month. This is something that they can do now. I'm just going to skip this one. So we're just at the seed stage, just getting started now. We've developed the technology, and building the actual point key system is what we're going to do from now. We're estimating about 6 months to the minimum viable product. In the future, there are a number of different possibilities. I'd particularly like to do point systems, offering them to small retailers who would probably benefit from them but don't have them now. Also going international with partners and integrating with point-of-sale systems. I think that's it for me. I should press that button. Can you get the presentation now? Think that's questions?
Hello. Okay, so you zipped through that really, really quickly.
Yeah.
And so can you just explain it, as if you're explaining to a kid what exactly it is? I mean, so a customer walks in, what, they take a picture? So yeah, I mean, can you...
Using our system, or like the concept of walk-in points?
The concept, yeah.
The concept, so like, so you have an app on your smartphone and you look and you say, oh, near me there's a clothing store that's offering points, 50 points.
Yeah.
So you walk into the store, you open the app, you press check-in, and you get 50 points in your app. And at a later date you can exchange those 50 points for your certificates, like on iTunes or Amazon or something like that.
Okay.
And you can save them up, and of course, like, save up not just 50 points, but save up to like 500 or 1,000. So the equivalent of $5 or $10, and change that again for gift certificates.
Okay, got it.
So thank you for your presentation. So what's the difference between your product and competitors like Novi or Shopkicks? Please just clarify.
So basically, from the customer's point of view, it's the same, except, well, it's basically the same from the customer's point of view, shopper's point of view. From the retailer's point of view, the difference is that ours can be implemented immediately. If they decide they want to try this walk-in point thing, they search for it on Google, our webpage comes up, and they can just get started immediately, like in 10 minutes or so. Whereas with the other systems here in Japan, at least, Docomo is the only one that has a public sign-up process. The others have no public, you don't know how to get started with any of the others. With Docomo, you submit an application, and again, they estimate about 3 weeks to get started. After you install an ultrasonic transmitter, or I think Docomo might actually be beacon-based. But you have to install hardware in your store, so that's the difference, the time to get started. And then also, I think that we could probably offer a lower fixed cost per month because we don't have any hardware to maintain.
Do you have slide explain that part of strengths or
Explain which. So
it's too quick. That's why.
sorry. So this is the difference to retailers. So other systems require special hardware to be installed, and that takes time to ship and install and then set up. In some way, you're paying for the hardware. The stores will have to pay for the hardware because it does cost money. Also, I didn't mention it in the talk, but judging from the comments on the App Store, it doesn't always work very well. So by contrast, ours would be easy to set up, easy to get going, potentially a little bit cheaper, and hopefully more reliable.
Okay.
But for customers, it's the same, basically.
So I think that you have a little bit of a chicken and the egg problem where you're going to have to get a lot of people to download the app to make it useful to the merchants. So how are you going to solve that problem?
Yeah, that is the big problem, I think. We're thinking to start very locally and focus on particular shopping districts in Tokyo. In particular, like Harajuku, where the customers are pretty tightly focused. And to start building up stores there at the same time as we start building up customers there. And then at some point, we need to, the way that the other companies started, like Shopkit, was basically to get the participation of a number of nationwide retail chains. First, when they get signed on, then they start the app, and then getting app users is the same thing like a very popular system recently, which is basically pay users to get other users. So you get half the points of everyone you introduce for 2 weeks. So that's how other people have grown the user base and customers. I think that's a good way to go. In terms of getting companies to sign up, then we'll have to rely on traditional advertising, and again, focusing like on a very limited shopping district at first, and then trying to grow it.
Thank you.
Hi, thanks for the presentation. I'm assuming that as a shopper, I have the app downloaded, I walk into a shop, I open the app, I check in, and I take some photos or video?
No, so we do use the camera, but that will be mostly hidden from the user. It's not going to look like a camera application. So our app would be installed, the Pointy app would be on your phone, and you walk in and you say check in, and it'll be recording video or something. The way all of these apps work is to tell you to go to, say, the register on the first floor, and then press the check-in button. Ours would be the same, except you would say go to the register on the first floor and point your phone at the register, and press the check-in button.
So my question is related to how are you connecting that data that you're collecting from the phone, be it an image or video, as a check-in, and connecting it to validating it in the store? Because this is your value proposition, right? That just through software alone, you can give a more accurate validation of the customers in the store.
Yes, so the system works by comparing those images to a map essentially that's created ahead of time. So the store employee, when they start using the system, goes to the register area and they go with the administration interface and they say, register this
So the
area.
store has to give you its layout and content. And
Not layout, no. Like it's up to the store where to do the check-in. They want us to tell customers, come to the register on the first floor. And as a pre-process, they go to the register area on the first floor and they record it. And then we essentially compare customers' pictures to the pictures that they've taken. It's not quite that simple, but basically.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Hello, I'm Yu, co-founder and CEO of Amazing Life. First of all, please let me introduce about myself. In 2010, my mother had passed away. When she really passed away, I tried to get information about funeral service companies and funeral costs by my iPhone, but I couldn't find any accurate information. My mother had prepaid about 2 million Japanese yen for the event of her death. But when she really passed away, I had to pay additional 2.7 million Japanese yen. I was furious with anger, and I made a decision. Someday, I will disrupt such an anarchic, expensive, and dubious industry by bringing the internet technology, even if it might be matter spots in the industry. That's the story, how Amazing Life was founded. Today, 25% of Japanese population is over 65 years old. Last year, 1.3 million Japanese people passed away, and this number will increase to more than over 1.4 million by 2020. Current Japanese funeral service market size is about 16 billion US dollars. 24 million Japanese families already had prepaid for their funeral service costs. In total, size is about $23 billion, but they couldn't refund because around 50% of those money already spent by the traditional funeral service company. This is a very, very big and serious issue in Japan. Of course, Japanese government suggested them to solve the problem by March 2016, but it might be an impossible mission, and it also good opportunity for us. Japanese funeral service average cost is about $20,000. Why Japanese funeral so expensive? Yeah, not enough time. Very sad. Very unfair situation between their family and funeral service company. Almost all payments are required by cash only. That's why Japanese funeral service is very expensive. We are providing simple cremation service, simple castle, and simple funeral services, simple soul to solve the problems of customers' experience at their life-ending situations. Our services are very simple. Our services are the first service in Japan that people could estimate, order, and pay by credit card 24 hours a day by their smartphone. Very easy to confirm the service details and add more optional services. We are organized by 4 experienced members, and at this point we are at the seed round. Ikeda Hayate is very featuring us. So that's it. We are planning to launch another iPhone app soon to protect families' assets after their life ending. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, I gotta be honest with you. God forbid anybody close to me passed away. The selling point for me wouldn't be that I could conveniently do it from my phone. And I think that you're kind of stuck on that. That's not really the area that you should be selling. You should be selling the transparency. You should be selling the price. And if those are the selling points, I actually don't think that there are many other players in this market. To be frank with you, it's a massive market. That's true. I think it's probably one of the biggest in the world. Cremation services, right? Yeah. In Japan. So it's a huge market, but there are a lot of players that are already doing this. Probably if you had done this 10, 15 years ago, I mean, you're right, it was very dubious and not a lot of transparency, but there are a lot of players that have already come into this market and have brought the transparency, and so you can pretty much do it for $3,000 even. So I don't think that it's really that new, to be honest with you.
Thank you. So we organize our service schemes with the very small funeral service companies, and we are serving them to survive, to get their customers via internet, and almost no, all of our current customers are passing away people's daughter around 50 years old. So they are the very, very heavy user to sell to buy a product via internet, and they are having a smartphone. And at this point, our service is the only service to fix the price, prefix the price before the ordering, because almost all funeral service companies cannot fix the cost, because Japanese cremation hall is not enough numbers. So sometimes customers have to pay additional cost to 2 days, 3 days cost. But we are providing a fixed cost. But we have no salesperson and call centers, and we can manage the company with very low cost. That's their competitive points of us.
Hi. So can you tell me a little bit? Do you have customers now? And also, going back to James's question, how are you able to fix this price? I mean, everyone's got the same problem, right? So how are you able to schedule and make this transparent and fix it, whereas others can't? What's the solution that you provide?
To fix their prepayment money is, to be honest, this margin rate is not fixed. Sometimes this margin rate will be 10%, sometimes 20%. But we are. I think this scheme is the best solution to sell this product via internet. To have a specific conversion rate with very low cost, even if our cost may be a bit higher sometimes.
I think you're targeting an exciting market with huge opportunity.
Thanks.
My question is around the relationship with the local service providers. So you said you're gonna disrupt them, but your business model also depends on those local service providers. How are you gonna encourage them or persuade them to get on board while you're saying that you're gonna disrupt them?
Good question. There are about 6,000 funeral service companies in Japan, and 23-25% of funeral service company is less than 3%, very small size. And this service is very hard to promote and push sales, right? So that's why 23% of small size funeral service companies are going to die. Average rate is 10%, 30% a year. So we could solve them to survive. And our same enemy is the large traditional funeral service companies.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello everyone. We presented this morning, so I would like to adjust this to good afternoon. Konnichiwa, thank you for being here. When I was a child, there was 2 places where I spent most of my time. The first place was the gym. I loved gymnastics, and there was no other place my 8-year-old self would rather be. But I couldn't always be there. And that's because I was here, in the hospital, or I was at home, attached to these tools, instead of playing on the balance beam with my friends. Why? Because I had asthma that was incredibly difficult to manage and greatly affected my childhood. Sadly, I am not alone. In the US, there are 7 million children who suffer from asthma. It is the most common childhood disease worldwide, and if left unmanaged, can be life-threatening. There is an estimated 250,000 deaths yearly, premature deaths, that are contributed to asthma, and research shows that most of these could be avoided. Current asthma management is still using the same tools that I used 15 years ago. Our team is going to change that. We have designed a systematic solution to help parents and their young children better manage their asthma. This is Breezy Not Wheezy. It's a smartphone asthma management app with a compatible peak flow meter and a medication reminder companion for the child in the form of our mascot, Rocky the Raccoon.
So when we conducted our field work, we found that 100% of parents who manage their child's asthma wished it were easier, and 100% of children do do not enjoy managing their asthma. No surprise, right? But what we did find is that parents believe their children would be more engaged in their child's healthcare and asthma management if it was fun, game-like, and interactive. And that furthermore, not only do they want, but they're willing to pay for a better solution.
Parents want a better solution. And our solution is composed of 3 devices that work seamlessly together. The first device is a digital peak flow meter that attaches to the smartphone and collects the lung capacity data of the child. The smartphone app takes this data and allows the parent to visualize it over time for trends and share this information with their physician in order to create more effective asthma management plans. The third device is a plush toy that the child keeps with them when they're away from their parents, for example at school. The toy lights up to remind the child to take their medication or their inhaler. We believe that it's really important that this design is fun and engaging for the child. For example, when the child blows into the peak flow meter, there's a fun interactive display on the smartphone as demonstrated in our video. Nope, not there. Okay.
There was a really sweet video there, so apologies. But we will talk a little bit about competition, which is to say, when we examine the competitive landscape, we found that there are people out there who are trying to develop asthma management technology for smartphone use. However, there is no one who's looking at childhood behavior. There's no one who's developing a specifically designed solution systematically, holistically for young children. And in the early ages of life is when the most important healthy habits are formed. If you develop early healthy habits, they have exponential positive impact on your long-term care.
Hi everyone. So yeah, when trying to develop this product, pretty much we thought about Larry Page and his toothbrush test, where you use it twice a day, and we think kids would. So basically we're looking to target the sweet spot, so kids between 3 to 7 years old, and their parents who are mostly tech-savvy, willing to download an app and use it smartly. Our brand strategy is reflected in our product with the design. It's got very round angles, childlike pastel tones. It's user intuitive, and it's very playful as well. We have this marvelous little raccoon that we wanted to present in the video, but we might do that after. And we've got regular feature updates as well. Promotional study will do all that smart new companies do online with SEO and pay-per-click, but we'll also use PR intelligently and try to influence specialized press, pediatricians, and of course medical associations, which will be critical to get traction. We've got the operations plan all set up. First year we launch, we get the FDA approval, we sort out the packaging, website launch. Year 2 we push the sales and the promotional effort. We do some iterative improvements on the mobile app, and we do some more staffing. In the 3rd year, we do reinvestments in R&D because we need to keep the bar high. There's quite a high level of competition in the field at the moment, and we do tech updates and improvements. Very quickly on finance, and that's what we're interested in also, the price, $29, just slightly above the price of a regular peak flow meter on the market. Peak flow meters that are not smart, so not powered by an app that analyzes data behind. We have a freemium model where the app is free and the device comes at a price.
Okay, time's up. Thank you very much.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for the presentation. This is really interesting area that we are always looking at, the healthcare so-called. A couple of questions. One is the accuracy of the data. So you collect the data through the smartphone with the gadget. So how accurate the data will be? That's the first question. And the second is FDA approval. This is always the issue for every healthcare startups to come over. So how likely or unlikely you get this challenge solved?
So those are both very good questions. And we did find within one of our competitors that there is a company that's developing a digital compatible peak flow meter with the smartphone. However, their target is to adults, but the technology is being developed. As far as the FD regulations, normally peak flow meters are non-prescription, and so we would develop it privately. But that is also a challenge that we would have moving forward.
Also, if I can just complement, basically with the analysis of this data, what's interesting is that all the data is collected by our system, and then as a doctor, because this is the point, also providing an interface where actual medical professionals can access, they can themselves extract the meaning out of it. And the problem is that most of the kids are not proactive in dealing with the information, so it's really hard to get actual, real data from them. And this way, by being so playful and engaging, well, they're very happy, you know, to get all that into a system.
And
We're
just,
happy to, yeah.
And just to add to that, currently parents have their child do a peak flow meter twice a day, and they have to write it down in a journal and keep track of it.
Already does that.
I would like to know your sales and marketing strategy very briefly.
So, sales strategy, we'd like to sell, our objective for the first year is to sell 1,000 units. It's a pretty reasonable objective considering that there's 7 million kids with asthma just in the US.
How do you sell? Like by yourself or working with some?
We have a website with a sales system. We're aiming to drive 60% of our sales to this channel. The rest would be done with partnerships. And we've looked at very interesting papers that were published about Amazon, looking to expand into the healthcare. They're very much looking for new technologies like this that are very user-intuitive that you can sell. Our device is not sold with prescription, so it means you can buy it as a private customer on any platform online, pretty much. So this is it for the proportion.
And I would just add to that in the US market specifically, regulatory shifts occurred about 5 years ago that allowed most, if not all, medical companies to go direct to consumer. So in that case, we don't have to navigate through the healthcare system to sell this device.
Is this product already made? It's not made yet, right?
No.
Okay. So I love it. I think that a lot of people think that this smartphone revolution, where there's a lot of interesting startups coming from the introduction of a smartphone, is over because Uber is there and Instagram is there. But I actually think that there's a lot more opportunities, and this is probably one of them. But the problem is that hardware startups are very, very difficult to execute. And I've actually made one hardware investment, and we've had trouble shipping. And a lot of Kickstarter projects don't ever get shipped. So I just want to know about your background and what stage you are in the production.
Sure. So Ken and I are both product designers. So we come from a space where we're very familiar with developing our product and how that life cycle works. We also would develop out an advisory board to make sure that we're going to market in the most efficient possible way and making sure we're avoiding any of the potential pitfalls that have gone through other Kickstarter campaigns or campaigns that are trying to get a product like this that sits with an iPhone to market.
So I want to thank you.
Quick one, guys. If you're looking for 150 grand and I put in an offer today, who's all in with me full time and where is the company based?
Well, I'll answer that. I suppose we're all very committed to this. We believe wholeheartedly in early childhood health. And Anna has lived through asthma. I have lived through a lot of health issues myself. So we're all in as far as we're concerned. In terms of where it's based, we are geographically ambiguous. We are New York based, however, we're currently living in Tokyo. We move where we need to be.
Also, another thing between our team, what's quite interesting is that each of us come from a different background. We have a bit more design and advertising and product design on this side, and I come from a more marketing, finance-oriented background. So both of us approach usually things in a very different way, radically, but it's been fruitful, as you know. Thank you very much.
to our website localization service. So if you have a website in English and you have to display it in multiple languages, using Woven.io, you can do that. So if you're going to build a website, what language would you create it in? English? Japanese? Would you consider multiple languages? Before working on this problem, I wouldn't even consider it. It wouldn't even cross my mind. I would think, English is good enough. Everyone speaks English. But the truth is, that's not the case. And I think that's a huge missed opportunity. So there's 3 billion users on the internet today, and 70% of those users are non-English speakers. So with my English-only website, 70% of the world is shut out. And worse than that, I'm limiting my potential to 30%. So if there's such a huge opportunity, why are more sites localized? Let's think about it. So the first thing you think about when you're localizing a website is getting your translation. So let's see, I need to find a translator. I need to get a quote. I need to figure out what I'm going to do if I change my original content. I need to figure out, are they actually giving me real translated content? So at this point, most people have already given up. It's too much work. English is good enough. But for those of us who have gotten to this point and have a translation, you might think, all right, I'm done. I can localize my website. But the truth is, this is just the tip of the iceberg. It's very important, but it's one of many things you need to consider and take care of. For example, when a user first comes to your website, you present multiple options for them. You guess their language. You just give them English and hope it works out. Okay, so I want to access that 70%, but it's a lot of work, so what do I do? So we've written Woven.io to be simple, quick, and easy from the first line of code, and it's free as well. Let's give you a demo really quick. So I have a website I'm working on. It's a breakfast taco website. Okay, I'd like to display this website in multiple languages. So right now it's in English only. So in order to display this in multiple languages, the first thing I need to do is to go to my Woven.io account. Oh no. If I can sign in. Oh boy. My password is too long, I think. Okay. Alright, so I'm logged into my Woven account. So what I need to do is I need to copy this code snippet, and I'm going to insert it into the HTML of my website. And after I've done that, I'm going to click New Page. So at this point, I need the URL of the page I want to translate. So I'm going to grab this URL, copy that, and put it here. And we're going to detect the language, and we're going to give you a title as well. So on the left side, we're going to see all of our original content, and on the right side is our translated content. So let's do Spanish. We have a professional machine, but the machine is faster, so let's do that for now. I'm going to publish the website, and then when I reload, you'll see in the bottom right corner comes the Woven widget, and we can switch right there. One of the positives of Woven.io is you have complete control over the content that is displayed. So I'd like to show you a few websites that are using it. I'm going to fly through this. There's a Japanese website. They have it in 4 languages. There's an American website, and they have it in 2 languages. There's a Mexican website, German website, Panamanian website, and we also have a Korean website using it. So this is some of many websites that are using it. So as you saw, there's 3 steps. So to insert the line of code, you have to enter the page to get started and translate your website. So in these 3 steps, Woven.io has unlocked that 70%, and they've connected those users to your website, and they've allowed your website to access the users as well. So about us, we launched about 5 months ago. We have 3,000 registered domains, over 60,000 translated pages. Our user base is here. And our business model is we're going to add paid subscription plans. We're going to add a service fee to those pro translations. And our market is the world's website. So we want to make a tool that can be used on any type of website. Thank you very much.
Can you go back to the paid subscription plan?
Yes. So we actually, right now, this is in private beta. Nothing is set in stone yet, of course.
Okay, so you're still kind of playing around with the price, or you don't even have the paid version yet, right?
We have so the features are in private beta right now, but we don't have the actual plan set price or anything yet.
Okay. And so on the in the background, Django is running, right?
Yes, Django is in the professional translations.
Okay. And Django's awesome, by the way. And so so I wanted to know eventually, because you're gonna have to be paying Django, right?
Right.
For professional translations. Or are you going to vertically integrate and start doing the same thing as Django? Are you going to be creeping into that area eventually?
Yes and no. We're not planning on. We're always planning on keeping Django as one of the options, but we'd like to provide more options. We want to provide higher quality for higher price, and then medium price, medium quality, and then also free options.
All right. So I know that you're still playing around with the pricing model, but I'm just wondering whether it's going to be reasonably cheap enough for anybody to just use it, because you still have to pay Django, right?
Right. So the page that I showed you earlier, I didn't have a chance to show you, but it's about $5 to translate that page. And we'd like to roll that. We'd like to build it so that when you add new pages, you're only paying for the new content on the page, not the repeated content of menus and everything. So it ends up being cheaper than you expect, actually. We've been surprised as well. So. But it's something we need to work on as far as different levels of quality and different levels of pricing as well. So we want to offer a lot of options for people.
Okay. All right, thank you.
It's also important to know that if you want to write your own, you can also write your own translation as well.
Yeah, thanks. So can you tell me about, you blew through that customer slides, but
yeah.
So how did you get your current customers up to now, and what are you going to do?
Okay, so we really haven't really done much marketing yet because we're still kind of in public beta, we're considering. But most of this is from a few articles that have come out on like TechCrunch Japan, and we also were featured in Product Hunt. That's where a lot of our recognitions come from. But it's basically just from a few articles here and there, really.
And then what's the plan?
To get more. So as far as the Japanese market, we are partnering with some larger companies to integrate Woven with their websites, and that's going to help us to build our market here. As far as abroad, we're planning on going to do the same thing as well with larger websites, but also to talk about localization, talk to people why they need localization, and how they can use our service to do that. Because we think it's a big problem is that they don't see the need for it yet, so we'd like to help people do that more.
Okay, and one more thing on the technical side. I mean, basically, you're talking about translating text-based HTML.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So what if there's what happens to sites that are beyond that and they have added layer of complexity, in terms of code?
So as far as like images and stuff, I'm concerned, we're working on that right now. But other things such as dynamically loaded content, that's something that we're working on as well. And also we're working on new products, basically that you can use Woven IO that's going to solve those problems as well.
And finally, your team.
Oh, our team is myself and our co-founder is Japanese, and then we have a third person who's working with our community, and we have more developers coming on next year.
So my question is, what you have heard quite often, how this is different from so-called Google Translation.
Okay, good question. Yeah. So Google Translate, they're gonna translate it for you on the fly and send you the results, right? But you don't know what's gonna come back. If they change the algorithm or something changes, you can't anticipate that. But with our service, you can not only take the translation from the machine, but you can edit that. So for example, if you are writing an article about Saito, which is a lake in Japan, Google says West Lake, but that's not what you want to say, right? So in this case, you can change it yourself and make it Saito. And then
even with Google, so the translated the text is not perfect. It's half complete, and people need to take care of it to make it perfect. So in your cases, the quality of the translation is much better than the Google.
Yeah, I would say the professionals do. Yeah. And then also if you're bilingual yourself, you can do it yourself as well.
Thanks for your presentation. So, can customer manually correct the translation?
Yes.
That is one question. Okay. Yeah. And second, can you integrate your tool to CMS vendor like Wix or something? And I think it's better to expand your business because they are providing a lot of great home pages.
Right.
And if you are integrated, you can expand business.
That is what we're working on right now. Actually, is working on making Woken into a tool that can be used in any kind of environment. Right now, we have this environment. We want to offer environments that work with Wix and all kinds of CMSs, Drupal or Joomla or any kind of WordPress and stuff like that. So it works for that right now. We want to integrate better.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.